Cool. So Daniel Buchner. I was formerly at Mozilla for about 5 years. I led all of our initiatives surrounding web components, from everything from spec interactions to how we actually would use the components for things like making Firefox OS app development easier. One of my 20% projects while I was there was actually writing XTag, the library. Weird for a PM, I guess, but it's awesome. It's our version of Polymer, essentially. It does a little bit less. Less than Polymer, no data binding, stuff like that, simply about custom elements. But I'll walk through what it does do. So interesting point, we actually use the same polyfill layer that Polymer does. So if you already were to be using Polymer and you wanted to use any web component from XTag that was built with this library, all you would need to include is the actual library itself, which is 12K, instead of redundantly loading everything that Polymer loads. It takes care of most of the platform stuff. If you want to use it apart, you can include that platform.js and include XTag, the library, on top of that as well. And it will operate just fine in the presence of only the native web component APIs. It also enhances those APIs. It gives you an interface that's just a little bit more ergonomic. It links your custom attributes, getters, and setters together. You saw that with Polymer. So we have our own little dialect, our own way of declaring that. But we do the same thing there. Also provides some great event features, stuff I'll show you in the demo, as well as hooking up a pseudo system and a mixin API. So that if you create something like maybe iframe and image have source attributes and you want to just have the source attribute able to be applied to multiple elements, we have a mixin called SRC. And you mix that into any component, and when you change source, downloads your data, makes it available to you. So it's awesome. Let's just jump right into the demo. So you can click, if anyone's following along, I will, oops, actually it's already loaded. So here we have our code. I'm going to walk through it really quickly just so we understand what we're doing. This is what, this is what an XTag created element looks like. So xtag.register, this all maps to document.register element. You'll see some of the same things you're used to. Lifecycle. Obviously, those APIs map straight to web components. Created, that's for when the element instantiates, any way that it may happen. Inserted and removed, this is when the element is removed from the DOM and inserted into the DOM. Accessors, this is how we actually link up our attributes to setters and getters. So we have a Super Mario attribute, or Super Mario getter. So if you say, this dot Super Mario, you're going to be able to access it there, or through the attribute super-Mario. This is also declaring it as a Boolean attribute. So it doesn't actually have a value, but XTag handles that for you. So if you say this.super-Mario equals true, it knows to put that attribute on your element without a value. We also have methods. So if you want to say, here's some methods that are going to go on my custom element, you can see we have jump and play sound, as well as an events object that does some nice wrapping. So what tap is actually an event that wraps click and touch for you, so you don't have to worry about where you're at. It just works. As well as animation end and some other things. Animation end is still prefixed in some browsers. We go ahead and take care of that for you. So all you say is, I want an animation end event on this element, and we'll make sure that the right events are handled. So let's check it out. Looks pretty familiar. People are probably used to this. So let's put Mario into the DOM.
It's me, Mario.
So when he enters the DOM. When he enters the DOM, we have this part of the demo is playing here, inserted, right? So that's actually what's happening. It's going and saying, let's play this sound, which is a function that's on your custom element. Let's do some other stuff. That jump, that tap that we had in the jump function, yeah, let's do that. So that's all there. And Mario, he's feeling a little low. He might want to become super. So you can do that. You can go back. And remember, it's a Boolean attribute, so I can say like 0, falsy. XTag handles all this for you, converts it to truthy and falsy. So I can say 0. It's going to go back. Also, just to show you the power of getters and setters, let's say ++. Also works, right? This is just JS. It's just the platform, the DOM, stuff you're going to be used to more and more now that we're returning back to that platform. And let's say I'm done with my demo and I really want him to leave.
Hey, you're very good. See you next time.
Yeah, so this is all stuff you can do with custom elements. I would encourage you, no matter what you get into, what library around custom elements you can do, XTag, Polymer, both, just get into them. I mean, if XTag is the web is the Napoleon Dynamite of the platform, then surely web components are Pedro. They will, your wildest dreams are going to come true. Just to give you one quick demo, because I think we have, a couple more minutes. When they talk about non-visual tags, it's really important. Think outside the box. Not everything has to be a UI element. Here we've actually created something really cool to do element queries. So I don't know if you're familiar with media queries. Think about what if you could have media queries scoped to just a certain element so that max width wasn't 300 pixels of the whole window. It was 300 pixels of a specific element. This is a non-visual element that we have that actually, see how they're morphing? I'm able to drag them and get different queries. They're just changing, right? This is all done through a non-visual tag. And it's handled by the shadow DOM. So all the mechanisms to allow you that functionality are baked into a non-visual tag. Explore the DOM. Explore tags, no matter if they're visual or not. Thank you for your time. And questions, welcome.